Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan, and the first where I'm taking the 10-minute moans on the road, responding to concerns that people have in their communities. Now, I took some messages from locals here in Paisley. I'm in Foxbarn, Paisley, who have concerns that the building behind me, which was an old folks care home, has now been turned into a place for asylum seekers. They fear that they might be the next place to have, as you can see in a very residential area, to be inundated with potentially 100 asylum seekers of men, single men of fighting age. The reason that they're concerned is the building behind me has approximately 50 rooms, which was used obviously once upon a time to look after our old and infirm, but now that could house 2 per room and potentially 100 asylum seekers if their concerns are indeed true. Now, they're concerned for 2 things. They're concerned at proximity to residential areas, and also, as you can see, it's literally diagonally across the road from a primary school, and the people in Foxbar have no desire whatsoever to be the next town in the United Kingdom inundated and overrun by young, unrecorded, undocumented asylum seekers, because we potentially see a drop in the community spirit and a rise in crime in their neighbourhoods, and they have concerns. So we'll keep our eye on this development. We'll try and do some more digging to find out the truth. But as you can see, the boarding up is normal when you close a building of such. But as you can see as well, there is porta cabins being delivered to the site, which normally means there are going to be builders on site, and there is evidence of some work already have started to be done near the wheelie bins, etc. You can see some rubbish, etc. And from what I hear, the place is guarded at night. There's potentially fences getting put up, and the people have concerns that something's happening. And if it was just a normal building site and they were going to reopen this as a care home, we'd probably know about it just now. So these concerns may or may not be justified, but we'll keep our eyes on it as we go along. So I hope you enjoyed this short 10-minute moan, and I will be doing more of these as time goes on. So if you've got a community story or concerns or anything at all that you want to give a platform to, contact me through Twitter and I'll be on the case. So enjoy the video, thumbs up please. If you've not already done so, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell. Your comments below, they're always good value. But most importantly of all, unless you're the type of people that are going to potentially decimate communities by putting places and housing lots of asylum seekers, undocumented asylum seekers on people's doorsteps. Not you, but
everyone else. Have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.
Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And the topic of this 10-minute moan is yet another £400 million taken off the motorists, who must be getting taxed more than anybody in the history of taxes. So this new tax has been going about for some time. It was confirmed in August at the first Labour budget. And the Tories had brought this about and suggested this would happen back in 2022. So Labour have confirmed that, and it's now coming. But they reckon 75% of people who are drivers are unaware that their road tax is going to get hiked. But the reason is the majority of those who will be affected will be the 2 million who buy a brand new car each year in the United Kingdom. It's always slightly above or slightly below 2 million. So that's probably where we're going to go, which would suggest 400 million from 2 million registered brand new cars, it'll be about 200 quid per car. So it'll be there or thereabouts. However, some people are looking at paying over £5,500 for the first year of road tax on their cars. And there's a bit of a shock for electric car drivers when the car's over a year old. They're also going to start paying tax for the first time, which has been kept quite quiet, and they'll come as a surprise to many of our increasing number of electric cars. And electric cars didn't quite reach 1 out of 5. It was 19 point something % last year of the cars registered in the United Kingdom. And that's despite a massive amount of push towards them. So where the government are behind the targets should have been about 24% last year. So we're behind that, and it's 28% target for next year. So we'll see how that gets on as the year goes on. So what is this new tax and how will it affect people? Well, when you register a new car in the United Kingdom, it gets a different vehicle excise duty, which is road tax to you and I, than it does for any of the subsequent years. And the road tax for the highest polluting cars that we have, that's ones that are over 255 CO2, will get double. They're currently paying £2,750 for first year. That'll double to obviously at £5,500. And the what I thought that now it ranges. The cheapest car is zero. That'll actually be £10 now because that's ones that are on zero emissions. So the electric cars will now get a £10 fee, but it was zero before for the first year. And the super good ones that were 1 to 50 was £10. That's going up to a massive £110. The £30 one, which would be some really clever petrol cars, could be in there, but a lot of hybrid cars would be in there. But it would need to be a good hybrid. It was £30. That's going up to 130. And then when we get to 76 grams per kilometre upwards, it starts doubling. So I thought, well, what does this mean in real terms? I actually got a wee bit of a surprise as somebody who was 25 years in the motor trade selling cars, where when I was in the industry, the vast majority of the time, it was a Ford Fiesta and an Escort that were first and second in the sales. But the Fiesta's not made anymore. So the best-selling car in the United Kingdom last year was the Ford Puma. So I had a look at the the CO2 emissions for that. And they fall in, the one that's probably the best selling will fall into previously £270 for the first year. That's between 130 and 131, 150 grams. Well, that's gone up to £540. So that's the best selling car in the United Kingdom. And then the next thing I looked at was, this was the one that surprised me. The second best-selling car in the United Kingdom last year was a Kia Sportage, which shocked me because normally it was the smaller, cheaper cars that were the big sellers, but not. I don't know what Kia's done. They must have had some tremendous offers on 2024. And the Sportage was the second best-selling car. So that has engines that range from 128 up to as high as 173 grams per kilometre, but the ones that will sell in the most numbers will probably be the 128 and the 147. So what will happen to them is they will go from the 220 up to 440, and the 147, the 270 up to 540, the same as the Ford Puma. So that's where the majority of people will be because that's the best-selling cars. But the ones at the top of the tree, that's ones with over 255 grams per kilometre. Well, that's kind of dear ones. It's not going to affect a lot of people, but those it does affect, it's going to affect them really, really badly. And I reckon there's 59 car models in that range. But when I read out the list, you'll see that it'll be very small numbers. You've got like an Alfa Romeo one, which is a bi-turbo 3-litre thing, so there'll not be many Alfa Romeo Stelvios on the road next year. Audi R8s, RS6s, that sort of stuff, just a really big engine V8 type stuff. Aston Martins, Bentleys, BMWs, but again, it's only the V8s like M8, MX5, M series, etc. They'll get stung. Chevrolet Corvette Stingray, no surprise there. A couple of Ferraris. The Ford Mustang, nice car. I know a boy on Twitter that'll be rising with that. He's got one of them, but if he buys a new one, he'll be paying £5,500 for tax on it. A couple of Ford Rangers, an Ineos Grenadier, I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. A couple of Jaguars, the F-Pace V8, a Jeep Wrangler, Lamborghinis, no surprise. Land Rover Defenders, but again, V8s, just the big petrol ones, the Lotus, Maserati, McLaren, again a few Mercedes, but all the 6.3, which I'm sure's a V8, might be a V6, I'm not sure, but they're all the 6.3 models in various different engines. A GLC, GLE, GLS, SL55 as well, that's another odd one. Porsches, Cayenne, 911, Cayman, and the Macan. So again, these are V6 and V8 engines. The big petrol Range Rovers, a couple of Rolls Royces, Toyota Hilux diesel, Toyota Land Cruiser diesel, and the Volkswagen Amarok, which I'm sure is their big pickup. So you can see that the other one, they're going to be the big losers in here with the road tax have gone from 2,745 for year one up to 5,490. However, the bit that is a sort of sneaky one is what happens to the cars that are already on the road, because they generally will go up. Now, there's a thing that you can get caught out with. I get caught out with this one when I bought a second-hand car, that for the first 5 years, it's got a tax if it's over a certain value. Now, I bought my car second-hand and I got a great deal. I didn't spend the sort of 50 grand that the car would have been new. But because it was under the 5 years old, I'm paying 500 quid a year for the tax, which is nowhere near the CO2 emissions from that car. It's not a bad CO2 emissions, because I've got what's called a light or small, it's not a full hybrid, but so I get no bad fuel economy and no bad emissions. But you've got that will be going on to electric cars now. So any electric car over £40,000 will get this for the first 5 years, which is just purely on the value. So that's going to come in and hit the electric cars. And they're going to get a small tax on their when it's brand new. So get an idea, new electric vehicles registered on or after 2025, they'll be going to £195 a year for second, third year onwards. And electric vehicles registered between 2017 and March 2025, they'll be going up to the 195 as well. So anybody driving about the now in an electric car who's been paying no tax will suddenly be getting a 200 quid, just under 200 quid deal on the road tax, plus this supplementary tax, which is expensive car supplement, which is a thing I suffered for, and I wasn't aware of it. My car was taxed for me going out the door. And when I went to re-tax it next year, I got a bit of fright. I thought, well, that's kind of heavy, 500 quid tax, but that's what it was. And I didn't know about this tax, despite having 25 years previously in the motor trade. So any car over 40 grand is now attracting this tax for the first 5 years. Okay? So that's the first 5 years from the start of the second licence. So your first year, which could be 5,000, 5.5 grand for all intents and purposes, and then you've got this excess for the next 5 years. So it's in fact to this car's 6 year old, I suppose. And that's going to start hitting them plus the 195 quid. And the supplementary, the extra bit for the road tax, is £410. So you're somebody who's driving a Tesla, because every one of them's over 40 grand, is going to get hit with the 195 tax, which they've never paid before, and the expensive car subsidy. So they're going to get hit with just over £600. And that's crazy. So it's £605. So as such, drivers of £40,000 plus electric vehicles that have been paying zero tax until now will be getting hit with 604 quid. And I'm not an electric car fan, and I'm not an electric car driver, but even I think that's a bit rubbish getting done with that. I mean, that's really giving them the kipper up. But anyway, that's the video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you've not already done so, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell. Let me know your comments below. That would be great. But most important thing of all, unless you're the type of politicians that sneak all these wee things through, we don't really pick up at the time of the budgets, and we don't know until we get hit with a new car tax whenever it's due after the 1st of April. So unless you're one of them, not you, but
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.